It's as old as the infant planet Earth in its orbit of fire, and yet new. 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 As new as tomorrow's dawn. Of a wilderness as old as the earth that spawned it. The United States government has created a new, yes, new national park. Pinacles. Now, it basks in the stewardship of the National Park Service. Chaparral, oak woodlands, black-tailed deer. Here, the wild can chirp and trumpet. Raccoons, mountain lion. National parkhood allows them to revel in these rocks and trees and flowers. National parkhood is a kind of life assurance for the wilderness, for them and for you. If from its variety of wildlife, a creature was chosen as emblematic of this new national park, it would be this one. No bird in North America can match it in size and flight. The California condor. With a wingspan of more than 9 feet, it soars on the warm updrafts at speeds of 55 miles an hour to altitudes of 15,000 feet above land. And here, Pinacles National Park is a home base. These magnificent birds were almost lost to us, almost driven into extinction. Losing forever such a splendid creature is like Mother Nature losing a child. What threatened the condor, threatened its very existence, is the loss of its nesting grounds and its being poisoned. Poisoned by lead bullets lodged in the animal carcasses that the condor feeds on. Now, in California, lead bullets for hunting are being phased out. Once this great bird soared America's skies from Mexico to Canada. By the 1980s in California, there are only 22 condors left. So the U.S. Wildlife Service set out to capture those remaining birds for a breeding program. Condors mate for life. Their offspring become their future. And now, more than 30 condors roost in Pinacles National Park. Pinacles becomes a release site. As they increase, they're numbered and sent back into their native wilderness, with researchers tracking their movements with radio telemetry to ensure their continuing growth in the wild. Condors who've been nurtured at Pinacles will fly some 60 miles, as far as Big Sur, in their search for food. Dramatically, a species on the brink of extinction is now on the rebound. Hold on to your binoculars, for condors are not the only birds to see. Pinacles is graced with some 150 different species of birds, a bonanza for bird watchers. One of the most interesting is the acorn woodpecker. To hikers, these California oaks offer shade from the scorching sun and provides nourishing food, acorns, for many kinds of forest creatures. It's been called the giving tree. Acorns are not the only staple of an acorn woodpecker's diet. They demonstrate, on occasion, a remarkable feat of engineering. This red-capped bird pecks a hole in a lifeless tree and then deftly taps an acorn into it. Food for the winter. Some trees are completely pocked with these holes, which store up to 50,000 acorns. Though Pinacles is the 59th national park designated by the United States Congress, its protection goes back to 1908, when then-President Theodore Roosevelt declared this area a national monument. But with millions of tourists clamoring to see Yosemite and Yellowstone, Pinacles remained hidden in the shadows. Now, as a national park, it has come boldly into the sun. An ancient volcano shaped this land, with its namesake towers of rock and its caves unlike any other. High and teetering, huge boulders came crashing down and got stuck between narrow canyon walls, thus forming a rocky roof overhead. These are called talus caves. It's dark, it's cool and damp, a welcome relief from the scorching sun. These caves are narrow, winding, and twisting. Adventurous hikers inch in slowly. In the steepest parts, you're protected by iron guardrails. Flashlights are held tightly and gratefully. Who knows? In its beam, you might catch a sight of a California red-legged frog. You aren't alone in these caves. These caves are the realm of thousands upon thousands of bats, sleeping undisturbed during the day. But the night is theirs. The deep night sky is thick with hungry bats. Bats detecting their prey by making high-pitched sounds that echo the prey's whereabouts. Half of California's 24 species of bats are found in Pinacles National Park. A cluster of high peaks are at the heart of Pinacles, challenging hikers to climb me if you can. There are no roads leading up this high. The park is ribboned with more than 30 miles of trails. Some trails lead climbers up cliffs so steep that there are handrails to grip onto. And some cliffs have ascending stairs chiseled into the rock. Even the tunnels are carved out of solid rock. Novice climbers, tenderfoots, calculate every move, every step before taking it. Experienced climbers work as a team. Trails with hundreds of routes challenge these weekend warriors to scale these dangerously steep rocks. The lead climber, with careful placement of his hands and feet, inches up, protected by a belayer below. Through summer and autumn, a view from the top is that of a sunburned landscape, a parched monochrome. But after the winter rains, when the canyon riverbeds run with water, the park becomes alive with flowers. Dazzling, mind-boggling, a vast landscape of flowers, attracting multitudes of worker bees. 400 different kinds of bees labor here, perhaps the greatest density in the world. Bees that pollinate for new life. This wilderness is half as old as time, and yet new. New sights, new life, and renewal for those who come. Pinacles, America's newest national park.